Hi, welcome to Petra Dot, and in today's lesson, we'll be learning how to write your first Java application, Hello World application, and I'll be using my Visual Studio Code. Don't worry, you can use any IDE of your choice. In this program, the core idea here is to show you how to write your basic application, compile it, and run it from the terminal. So all you need to do is open your editor, any editor of your choice, then create a new file, and we are going to be naming it Hello World, right? So first of all, I have a directory where I want to save my file already. So let me just go there first, open before creating the file. So under my Hello World, then open. So right now it's time for us to create our file. So let me just create the file, and I'm going to be naming it Hello World dot Java. Now every Java file name must end with the file name extension dot Java, right? And if you watch also, the naming here is somehow each word is starting with a capital letter. So in Java, the naming convention is you name in a camel case. That's what we call it. Your naming convention should be in what? Camel case. Even though it's not so compulsory, but as a software engineer who knows what he's doing, you should be using camel case. The reason is it will be easy to read. Yes, if I look at this now, I can easily read it. And also, when naming a class in Java, you start the first letter with a capital letter. Then each word, if it is more than one word, then should start with a capital letter for the first letter of that word. So that is why I seen it this way. Hello world. You can see, you can read it straight. You understand? It's also part of the documentation. Then you press enter to create the file. So right now, our file is ready. We have created our Java class file. So the next thing now is for us to write our program. But before that, I want us to understand some terms, just few terms. Syntax, um, semantics, pragmatics, and comments. All right. Syntax is talking about the pattern, a way a programming language writes its code. Yes, how the code of a programming language is looking. For example, let's say you want to print something on the screen using Java. It has a way you should write the code, and it's also is different from the way C++ does it, and it's different from the way Python does it. So that is what we're talking about, the syntax, the way a code is written, the pattern, right? Then the semantics is talking about, in summary, the meaning of the program. When you're writing an application, it is meant to do a work, right? It has an output. There's a main core purpose why the program is written, and if the program doesn't meet that purpose, then it is said to be semantically incorrect. Yes, so that's when we hear the word semantics error, right? So because this thing is meant to print out exactly hello world, but no, it is printing hello Africa. So it means the program has not meant the purpose it was meant for, right? It's talking about the meaning. So now, pragmatics is talking about the style at which you write your code. You understand? You might not be the one to take over this code in the future. Of course, yes, someone else will take it over and maintain it later. So the style at which you structure your code, you arrange your code, is what we call the pragmatics. So the other engineers being able to admire your code means you structured it well. You understand? Then, while comment is for documentation, we're already using comments here at this point. We're already using comments in these few things we have written here. So everything you are seeing here now is already a comment. Why? Because it has a double slash preceding it, a double forward slash preceding it. So we have two types of comment: the single line comment and the multiple line comment. So these ones you are seeing here is representing single line comments. But if you want to write a double line comment, you are going to be using forward slash double asterisk as the starting and end it with a single asterisk and one forward slash, right? So, but what is this the comment? What is the need? It is used to help you and other engineers who are going to read this code in the future. Let's say in the next 5 years when you come back, this code might have duplicated, that you might not remember the things you wrote then, but this comment will help you to remember, because the comment helps you to explain each line of code. So any line you meet, you will know, yes, that this line is doing this one is doing this, so that you know how to make your inputs if you want to make an update, or how you are going to debug your code if there is any issue or an error with that code. That is what the comment helps you to do. It also helps other engineers to understand what you are writing in that particular line and know how to continue with the code where you stopped. So, having understood all these terms right now, let us now go ahead to write our program, but we are going to be documenting it as we are writing. So first of all, this is a simple Java program to print hello world to the console. Yes, so we are trying to document it so that anybody that sees it will understand and we will know what the program is doing. This is part of our Java lessons. So I want you to understand that this is a multiple line comment, hence why I did this. I used this, why this was a single line. So now, if you want to create a Java application, there is a skeleton, default skeleton of the way the application must be started. One is that you must create a class where that program will be housed, and inside that class you must have an entry point called the main method. These are the two things we need for us to be able to write the line of code that is going to print this item on the screen. So, and let us now define a class. And how do you do that? Public class hello world, right? So now you have 4 items here, 1 2 3 and 4. Now public here, we call this the access modifier. Yes, what does the access modifier do? It answers the question, how do you want this class to be accessed from other packages? Do you want it to be open to other packages to be able to access it or not? Don't worry, you will get to understand it as time goes on. When we are going to be in the process of our lessons, you get to understand it in the future. So but just know that this is the access modifier. It makes it open to other packages. Then the class here is just a keyword used to tell Java that you are creating a class. So when Java compiler sees this class, it already knows that you are creating a class at this point, that this is a class. Then why this hello world is the identifier. Identifier is talking about the name. Yes, you bought a dog and you give it a name. That name is what we call the identifier, right? So now okay, so then this curly braces is saying that this is the body of this program, right? So anything that appears inside this curly braces means is the child or the children of this program. That is what it's trying to talk about. I hope you can see my screen better right now. Okay, so the next thing now is for us to define the entry point. So, and how do you do that? First of all, let's drop our documentation, which is this is the entry point of this program. Let's define it now. Public static void main. Inside it you have your argument, strange array of arguments, args, and all right. So let's explain this. We already know that this is our access modifier as we explained here. You understand? So then the static is saying that I don't need to instantiate the object of this for me to be able to access this main method. You understand? Normally in Java, for you to be able to access a method that is in a class, you need to create the object of that class. But static is helping us here to say to this application that anytime you want to access main, you don't need to create the object of this, just access it directly by saying hello world.main. That is what this static is saying. Then this void is called the return type. What type of value is this thing going to return, right? So at this point, it's saying that this main method is not going to return any result that can be assigned to a particular variable. Don't worry, if you don't, the term variable will explain it in our next lesson, so you understand what a variable is. So but we are saying that this void is saying that anytime you call this method, just know that it's not going to return a value. It's just going to run the content of this method. You understand? Why this main here is the identifier, just like this hello world. It is the name of the method. I can call it main1, main2, or whatever, anything is still the same. But the thing is that it is compulsory that anytime you create a class in Java for a program, there must be an entry point, and that entry point must be named main. If the program doesn't see main, it's going to have a runtime error, right? So the program will not run successfully. All right. So here is what we call the arguments that is being passed to the method. Don't worry, when we are going to be explaining method, we'll explain this place better. Then why this, the curly braces, is still talking about the body of the main. It says that anything that appears in between these curly braces is a child or the children of the main method. So I hope you understand this skeleton now. So anytime you're going to be writing any Java program, you must have this thing offhand. You must first of all type this the way exactly it is. Yes, if there is any mistake, for example, just like I said, Java is case sensitive. If there's any mistake, you use capital letter here, you have a compile time error. So it must be all small letters. So you must have to learn it the way it is, have it in your fingertips. So this is the syntax, and for you to write any programming language, you must understand the syntax and follow it strictly the way it is. So right now, let us write the statement that will print hello world. So any line that comes in between the body of a method or a class is called a statement in Java. And every statement must end with a semicolon. That's what it means. So right now, let us write the statement. First of all, let's document it. Print hello world to the console. And how do you do that? System.out.println hello world. So we have written this statement that will help us to print. This now is a default method in Java that is used to print a value to the console, and that is what we just did right now. So let's now run our program. So anytime you want to print anything on the console, this is where you write it. The only thing that will change now is the value that is going to appear here. You understand? So all right, so let us now run our program. To run our program, we are going to run it from the terminal. Yes, we are going to run it from the terminal. So what we need to do is to open your terminal. You must not be from the Visual Studio Code. If you are using another editor, just go to your terminal, open it separately. And when you open it, the first thing you do is to go into the place you saved the file. Yes, go into the directory you saved the file. If you watch, ours is saved somewhere. Let me print my working directory so you see. Our own is saved under the hello world. And if you check here in our files, you can see that we have it. We created a hello world directory. So it is stored inside it, right? So, and if you do ls, let's list the files inside this hello world, you can see that my hello world.java is existing there. So right now, I'm very sure that I'm inside the directory where this file is saved. So the next thing is to compile it, write a command that will compile it. And you are going to be using the keyword javac, that is Java C, the name of the program, hello world.java. Then press enter. You can see it has compiled successfully. If there was an error, you will see an error showing here, but no, we don't have any error on our code. Our syntax is correct and no mistake, hence it compiled successfully, right? So the next thing now is to run the program. You run it by typing java hello world. Don't forget the case sensitivity. The hello world is exactly the way it is saved with the class. You understand? And see the difference here. When I was compiling, I added C to the Java and the file name extension is here. But when I was running, it is only Java and the hello world without the file name extension. So you press enter and you see our hello world has printed on the console. Congratulations on learning your first Java program. For you to get better in learning, you must have to test run your own hand by writing this program by yourself. So you can write, and instead of printing hello world, you can print your name. You can even rewrite it in different lines up to 5 or 10 times for you to print this item, so that you will get used to the syntax of this skeleton one and also the print statement. So thank you so much for joining our lesson today, and don't forget, if you have any question or any confusion, drop your comments on the chat section and I will reply you and do a justice to that. Don't forget to subscribe and share to your friends. Thank you.